Let's take a look at your explication assignment first. I think you were able to extract quite a bit of intertextual information from the article, so really good job with that. Let's see. I think your annotation was pretty good, although just remember when you're annotating stuff for your bib, try to be a little bit more detailed using references and quotes and stuff so you don't have to go back to the article. Not so much important in this particular assignment because sometimes students don't use this article. You could also maybe mention a few more key texts from your article. That's always a really important intertextual characteristic to extract and search and use. I thought your research report was pretty good, although I thought the first paragraph was going to focus more on the actual original article, and then I noticed that you ended up searching quite a bit of the intertextual information that you extracted. So thanks for that, because a lot of students weren't able to do that. They ended up just sort of extending the summary of their original article, and I wanted them to search the stuff they found in the article, and I think you did a pretty good job of that. So you got a good score on your explication for that. So let's take a look at your proposal now. All right, I really like your question. I think it's great. It's got a lot of potential. Maybe one suggestion I might make is eventually exchanging iconic for maybe the actual genre of film you're going to use or the set of films. But I think for now it's fine. Um, so let's take a look more into the proposal. I thought you had some really good sources, but I thought a majority of your sources were essentially answering your question. So you might want to extract some of that information and save it for later. It will certainly be useful. It's just this particular assignment wants you to try to validate the question a little bit more. Although, like I said, I think if you could try to maybe look at what's left to ask in regards to this study or in regards to some of your sources, because I think your sources could certainly validate the question a little bit more clearly. And I also think some of your references kind of connect indirectly, so I did give you some credit for that. Be careful with some of your citation information. Make sure you include page numbers with all of that information. But I thought the proposal was pretty good. I thought you did a really good job keeping focused. I just think that one thing that kept this from maybe being more of an A proposal was that you tended to answer the question a little bit more than validating. So try to point out why do we want to ask this question versus what the actual answer to it is. Save that answer for later. But like I said, for the most part, I think you did really well on both assignments. I appreciate the hard work, and I think that this is going to be a pretty interesting project. So I look forward to seeing some of your progress. If you have any questions, feel free to come by office hours or email me. Otherwise, I'll see you in class next week. All right, bye. I read over your paper, and I think you got some really good work here, actually. I think you need to tweak the question a little bit instead of saying how does social media enhance or worsen the research and writing process. You could just literally ask something about how the impact social media has on writing and research, something like that. Because essentially, your question will engage both sides of the coin, really, right? An answer usually involves some of the good and the bad, especially with a question like that when you're asking something about the impact of something. Typically, the answer will be a little bit of both, unless something is crazy and has a lot of disadvantages or sometimes advantages. Okay, so a few little things throughout. Try to introduce your quotes, um, and make sure you give citations. There are a couple little areas where you were giving information that was kind of specific. So even if it was a paraphrase, you'd probably want to put a citation there, or you would just drop in a quote without kind of introducing that quote. So think about that. Go back to that summary, paraphrasing and quoting activity we did online, and use that to help polish and smooth out. You're still drafting, so one thing that I noticed was the survey. I hope that you maybe get some more people involved, but I'm not so sure that the survey results really give you, a really significant answer or really play a significant role in the answer. Although I'm not, suggesting to abandon the survey or that you can't use the survey results. I just thought that you really did a better job when you looked at some of the social media uses on your own. So you may want to investigate that a little bit more, like when you pulled up the picture of the collaboration stuff, whatever you guys do there. I thought that was really great. So if you could maybe bring more of that into the paper, I think that would be really good. That's my suggestion to you. I would essentially look at some of the role that social media plays in the writing process, or maybe advantages that social media could have in improving writing, and that would certainly be one and a really good example. Maybe you could point out more ways that social media impacts uh, the writing process and research process, or other ways that it's used to collaborate aside from just that particular example. Okay, aside from that, and that's kind of my major suggestion to you, because I think you could get a lot out of looking and investigating more on your own inside social media. What are people using it for academically? How are they using it academically? If they're using it to collaborate, what are other ways they're using social media to collaborate? What are other things they're doing with social media that could improve writing process? I think some of that work that you could do on your own ended up being more impactful, better, stronger than the survey. The survey results really weren't giving much, but just kind of some superficial results, which you can use. But like I said, I think the strongest part of your papers was when you actually gave a couple quotes and kind of followed it up with your example there with the picture and some of your ideas about how it was collaborative. Um, Okay, so I think, like I said, that was really it. I thought that you had some really good work. So, like I said, you may want to just slightly tweak that question and then maybe consider investigating some of the social media value and disadvantages as well on your own, aside from just the survey. And maybe you'll get some more responses too, and that'll help as well. But certainly don't get rid of the survey. It's valuable, but like I said, I thought the best part of your paper was when you actually looked at some of that stuff yourself and gave us some examples, visuals, or just literally wrote out the example in the print form for the paper. Okay, so I'll see you in class this week. Bye.